First question, Caleb. How did you get started in boxing?
I got started really late in boxing. I started when I was about 19 or 20, and I used to be a football player, a baseball player, and I hurt my knee in high school, and it was a nagging injury through college, so I stopped playing football and went back to the University of Minnesota just to focus on my education. And I was just bored. I was been an athlete my whole life, and I was looking for something to kind of fill the competitive void that football and baseball left. So I picked up boxing and started in a tough guy tournament and got my ass kicked the first time, but loved it. And about 15 years later, here I am.
Here you are. And speaking from the UK, I would argue that your biggest win of your career would actually be on British soil, the 2017 world title win over James Degale. What was that feeling like to win a world title?
It was fantastic, man. It's every fighter's dream to be a world champion, and not many realize that. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. And in order to go over to the UK and England and win it as a huge underdog, on Degale's home turf, that made it even sweeter. Just being counted out and nobody giving me a chance and beating the odds was a great feeling, obviously, and in front of the British fans was awesome as well. You guys are some of the best boxing fans in the world, and you really take your boxing seriously. So that was awesome to do it over there.
There's an amazing moment at the end of the fight when the results getting read, and the announcer says that the first judge scored at 114, and I think you throw your hands up in disbelief, and the crowd just begins to boo. And you would watch that and think, oh, that's quite clearly in Minnesota, or that's quite clearly in America. But I thought it was an amazing moment how the British fans recognised you'd won the fight.
Yeah, they were fantastic. That I came over there with just me and my team and a couple fans that made the trip, and in the copper box, I'm not sure how many people were in there, but there was only about 10 of them for me. So I think they took a liking to me, though. The British fans took a liking to me just because I'm a pretty low key guy and pretty honest and a decent person. So I was doing interviews before the fight, the week of, and everybody seemed to like my style and like I said, you guys are great boxing fans. So when the person that's supposed to win gets the win, that's what you guys appreciate. And afterwards, I stayed in London for about 3 days afterwards, extended my trip a little bit and kind of saw some of the sights, and didn't have to buy a pint in any of the bars afterwards.
Especially after as well, is James Degale over here is held in quite high regard. I don't know if you know this, but he's the first British fighter to win an Olympic gold medal and a world title. So for you to beat James Degale, especially on British soil, was a big statement for us British fans.
Yeah, they were talking about that in the build up to the fight. He was the first to do both of those, and obviously he has a huge following over there and well respected over there. And like I said, man, it was fantastic to come over there and upset him.
Well, let's talk about the present firstly before we get to the future. Since your rematch with Degale and when you lost the title, you've gone 2-0 with 1 no contest. How do you feel like your form has been going into this world title opportunity at the end of the month?
I feel good. I feel really good going into it. I've had a kind of a shaky last couple of years. I had the no contest you talked about. I got a pretty bad cut in a fight with Peter Quillen, and I've had a couple of injuries for the first time in my career. So a little bit of a disappointing 2019 and 2020, but I feel good. I'm healthy and hungry to get my title back. I'm 37 years old and don't want to be the next Bernard Hopkins. I don't want to fight till I'm 50. So I got a short window here to get another title and cement my legacy in the sport and get on out before I'm too old. So I want to make the most of the time I have.
Superb. And let's talk about your opponent very briefly, Caleb Plant. Funny, isn't it? Battle of the Calebs. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not billed as that, to be honest.
Probably the first time in boxing history, I would imagine.
What is your opinion of the current IBF super middleweight champ as an opponent?
He's a good fighter. He's a good boxer. He's got fast hands, good balance, good ring IQ. Kind of similar to my preparation has been kind of similar to going into my first fight with Degale, whereas he's the boxer and I'm the guy that brings pressure and is going to want to mix it up. So it's my job to make him uncomfortable and just like I did in the fights with Degale, press the pace and make it into a fight rather than a boxing match.
And no disrespect to some of the opponents that he's defended his title against, but would it be fair to say that you are his first big test in defending his title?
Yeah, he won the title from Jose Uzcategui, who's a good fighter. But his two defenses have been pretty. They've been gimme, to take it lightly. I think I'm the best fighter he's ever faced. I think I'll offer something that none of the fighters that he faced prior will offer, and being a former world champion and having all the experience and the skill that the other guys that he fought haven't had. So I think he's in for a tough test on January 30th.
I couldn't agree more. But something you just mentioned then, you being the previous IBF world title holder, this obviously is a belt that you've held previously. Is there any extra impetus going into this fight, looking to reclaim a belt that you've previously held?
Yeah, obviously, once you've had a taste of it once, you want it again. So ever since I lost the belt to Degale the second time around, I've been hungry to get it back, and this will be my first chance at a belt since then. So I'm definitely approaching this fight a little bit differently. I'm approaching it like it's my last big chance to get a belt. So I want to go out and make the most of it, like I said before, and go out and be a two-time world champion.
And something you mentioned when we were talking about the James Degale fight, the one where you won the title, was that you were a significant underdog. You were also a significant underdog in this fight. I think that's fair to say. How do you plan to prove the doubters wrong?
The same way I did last time, is just going out and being myself. And I've been an underdog my whole career, and being from Minnesota, it's kind of flyover territory here in the United States as far as boxing goes. So I've always been kind of looked at as underdog, and I've always beat the odds in the past. So nothing new to me, and I embrace that role. I see all the people talking about who Plant is going to fight next, fight Canelo, or saying that this fight is a mismatch, and it just gives me extra motivation to prove everyone wrong.
And the name that you just mentioned there would actually be part of my next question. Saul Canelo Alvarez, the biggest draw in boxing, is now the unified super middleweight champion. There was rumours that Caleb Plant was going to fight Canelo on the 19th of December. It ended up being Callum Smith. If and when you win the title on the January the 30th, is that a fight that you would like at some part of this year?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, everybody's in the Canelo sweepstakes. He's the money man in boxing, and everybody's looking to get a fight with him, because that's what will command the highest purse. So I'm worried about Caleb Plant and Caleb Plant only, but after I beat him, I'll be more than willing to jump in there with anybody.
100%. A final question, Caleb. Give me a prediction for your fight at the end of this month.
I think I'm going to win. I'm hungry. I'm focused, and I feel better than I have in a couple of years as far as health goes. So I'm going in to win, and I think my pressure and my ring IQ and my experience wins out in the end, and I think I get the W.
Are you expecting a stoppage victory or a decision victory?
I never call stoppage or decision, man. I just I'll take a win any way I can, man.
Superb. And before we finish, how can people watch the fight?
The fight's going to be on Fox here in the United States, network television. I'm not exactly sure what network it will be on in the UK, but I'm sure it will be covered or streamed by somebody over there. But on Fox on January 30th here in the United States, and hopefully you guys can watch it over there too.
I think we kind of think. I want to say it's on Sky Sports over here. I think.
Okay.
Memory serves. Before we very last question, Caleb. How can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Golden Caleb T. Hit me up, man. I love conversating with the fans about boxing or fishing or beer or anything else you guys want to talk about. So I love interacting with my fans, and appreciate all you British fans. About half of my followers are from from the UK after my win against Degale. So hit me up at Golden Caleb T, and just BS with me about boxing or anything else.
You've mentioned beer twice now. What is your favorite beer, and what was your favorite beer while you were over in the UK?
My favorite beer is my own. I have my own signature beer, man. It's a 8-count IPA made by Lupulin Brewing. It's a local brewery that's a sponsor of mine, so I'm on the can, and it's a boxing beer, and actually it's available in the UK now. I've been seeing some tweets from people getting it. I think there was a couple people that got it in Manchester, I believe, and Scotland. So it's available in the UK. And when I was over there in the UK after the fight, I had a couple too many Fuller's London Prides, and that stuff's pretty good, man.
Well, brilliant, Caleb. It's an absolute honor to speak to you, and we wish you the best of luck on January the 30th. Thanks for your time tonight.